TFSA, or RRSP. Every Canadian with money to invest eventually faces this question, and most people answer it wrong. Not because they are bad with money, but because nobody explained the one factor that determines which account wins for your specific situation. This video is that explanation. 4 minutes. Clear decision. No confusion. Let me describe something familiar. You have some money to invest. Maybe $200 a month, maybe $500. You know you should be using one of these accounts. You have heard both names 100 times. But every time you try to figure out which one to open first, you hit a wall of conflicting information. Your coworker says RRSP because of the tax deduction. A Reddit thread says TFSA because it is more flexible. Your bank advisor recommended both without explaining why. You close the tab, you do nothing. The money sits in a checking account, earning close to zero. This is the TFSA versus RRSP confusion tax, and millions of Canadians pay it every year, not in fees, but in missed compounding, while waiting for a clear answer. Here is the clear answer. Let me explain both accounts in plain language, then give you the one question that decides everything. The TFSA, tax-free savings account. You put in money you have already paid tax on. It grows inside the account completely tax-free. When you take it out, at any time, for any reason, you pay zero tax on the growth. Zero. Ever. Regardless of how much it grew. The 2025 annual contribution limit was $7,000. The 2026 limit. Verify at canada.ca as it may be updated. If you have never contributed, your unused room since age 18 has been accumulating. Log into CRA My Account to see your exact available room. The TFSA is flexible. You can withdraw at any time. The room you withdraw comes back the following January, so you can recontribute later without permanently losing the space. The RRSP. Registered Retirement Savings Plan. You put in money before it gets taxed, or you get the tax back. Every dollar you contribute reduces your taxable income for that year. If you earn $70,000 and contribute $5,000 to your RRSP, the government taxes you on $65,000 at a combined marginal rate of around 33%. That is approximately $1,650 back in your pocket. The growth inside is tax-sheltered until withdrawal. When you withdraw, you pay income tax on the full amount at that time. The contribution limit is 18% of your prior year's earned income up to a maximum that is updated annually. Check your Notice of Assessment, or CRA, My Account for your exact room. The RRSP is less flexible. Withdrawals are taxed as income immediately, except under specific programs like the Home Buyers Plan and Lifelong Learning Plan. Taking money out early is expensive, and the contribution room does not come back. The one question that decides everything: what is your income now, and what do you expect it to be in retirement? That is it. That is the whole decision. Here is why. The RRSP's power comes from contributing at a high tax rate and withdrawing at a lower one. If you earn $95,000 today, you are in a relatively high marginal tax bracket. An RRSP contribution saves you tax at that high rate now. In retirement, if your income is lower, you pay tax at a lower rate on the withdrawal. You captured a tax arbitrage. If you earn $42,000 today, you are in a lower bracket. The immediate tax saving from an RRSP contribution is smaller. And in retirement, your income might not be dramatically lower than it is now. The arbitrage is weaker, or may not exist at all. For lower income earners, the TFSA wins more often because tax-free growth and withdrawal flexibility outweigh the modest RRSP tax deduction at lower brackets. For higher income earners, the RRSP often wins first because the immediate tax deduction at a high marginal rate is substantial, and the long-term tax sheltering is extremely powerful. Let me show you 3 quick scenarios. Scenario 1. Maya, 26, earns $38,000. Her marginal tax rate is relatively low. An RRSP contribution saves her tax at a modest rate. She may need flexibility. Her income is growing, and life circumstances could change. Recommendation: TFSA first. Tax-free growth on every dollar. Full flexibility. If she needs the money, she can access it without a tax bill. As her income grows significantly, she can revisit the RRSP. Scenario 2. James, 34, earns $95,000. His marginal tax rate is meaningfully higher. An RRSP contribution returns approximately $1,500 to $2,000 in tax per $5,000 contributed depending on his province. He does not need near-term access to this money. He expects lower income in retirement. Recommendation: RRSP first, up to a point. The tax arbitrage is real and significant. He should contribute enough to capture the full tax benefit at his current rate and consider investing the tax refund back into his TFSA. Scenario 3. Priya, 29, earns $62,000. She is in the middle, the gray zone where both accounts have merit. Recommendation: TFSA first for flexibility and simplicity, then RRSP as income grows. At $62,000, the RRSP deduction is meaningful but not dramatic. The TFSA provides tax-free compounding and flexibility while she is still in a building phase. As her income grows past $80,000 to $90,000, the RRSP becomes increasingly attractive. The FHSA, a quick mention. If you are a first-time home buyer in Canada, the First Home Savings Account combines RRSP and TFSA benefits specifically for a home purchase. Contributions are tax-deductible like an RRSP. Withdrawals for a qualifying home purchase are tax-free like a TFSA. If buying a home is in your near-term plan, this account should be part of the conversation. Research the current 2026 rules at canada.ca. Here is your decision guide. Simple. Based on your income. Under $50,000 annually, TFSA first. Lower marginal rate reduces the RRSP advantage. Flexibility matters more at this income level. TFSA tax-free compounding is your most powerful tool. $50,000 to $80,000, TFSA first, begin RRSP contributions as income grows. The RRSP becomes more attractive as you move through this range. Consider starting RRSP contributions once income consistently exceeds $70,000 or if you have a specific retirement savings gap. Above $80,000, RRSP becomes a strong priority. The marginal tax rate at this income level makes the RRSP deduction genuinely powerful. Contribute to RRSP up to the amount that brings your taxable income down to the next bracket. Then direct remaining funds to TFSA. At any income. If your employer offers an RRSP match, capture the full match immediately regardless of income. An employer match is a guaranteed return that outperforms every other consideration. This is the one exception to the income-based sequencing. 3 actions this week. 1. Log into CRA, my account at canada.ca. Check your TFSA contribution room and your RRSP deduction limit. Know your actual numbers. 2. Based on your income, identify which account is your priority using the framework above. 3. Open that account if it is not already open. Wealthsimple, Questrade, or your bank's direct investing platform. Set up a monthly automatic contribution, even $100. The amount grows over time. The habit starts today. Here is the reframe. TFSA versus RRSP is not a debate with a universal winner. It is a personalized decision based on one factor: your current tax rate versus your expected future tax rate. The account that wins for your colleague at $110,000 may not win for you at $45,000. The account that wins for you at 28 may not win for you at 45. The question is not which account is better. The question is which account is better for you right now at your current income. Answer that question with your real numbers from CRA My Account. Then open the account and start. Every year, you do not use one of these accounts. You are leaving tax-free or tax-deferred, compounding on the table. The TFSA and the RRSP exist because the Canadian government created them specifically to help people like you build wealth with less tax interference. They are not complicated when you know the one question: what is my income now? And what will it likely be in retirement? If your income now is lower, TFSA. If your income now is meaningfully higher than your expected retirement income, RRSP. If you are in the middle, TFSA first, RRSP as you grow. If your employer matches, capture that first no matter what. Check your room at CRA My Account this week. Open the right account. Start the contribution. Because the best time to start was the day you turned 18 and became eligible. The second best time is right now. Drop a comment and tell me, which account are you currently using? Or are you in the gray zone and still undecided? Tell me your rough income range, and I will tell you specifically which account I would prioritize in your situation. I read every comment. If you know a Canadian who has been putting off this decision because TFSA versus RRSP felt too confusing, share this video. The decision takes 4 minutes when the framework is clear. Subscribe to Nuella Invests. Every week, we make the Canadian financial decisions that matter actually simple. See you in the next one.